So last lesson, we're going to look at parallel lines and we're going to look at perpendicular lines. Have we heard the word parallel before?
Yes. Parallel is it gets ready.
It keeps on going forever.
Parallel.
It keeps on going.
Perpendicular.
It's like a circle.
Right? No, parallel. It goes like this. It goes like it never touches each other. It never touches each
It's
other.
like this.
Through each other.
It's like this, bro.
Perpendicular crosses.
Okay.
Cross the
Parallel.
origin. They cross the origin.
It's like this. Look.
Okay, parallel we think of kind of like an equal sign. Okay? They do not touch. Jacob, pay attention. Get your notes out. Okay.
I have my notes.
We will also do perpendicular. Think of perpendicular like a plus sign. Okay? So think parallel is like an equals. Perpendicular, they make like a plus sign. Okay? All right, so parallel lines, something that we need to make sure with parallel lines, they have to have the same slope. Okay? So here's an example of two lines. Can you see? Someone go ahead and count. Can you count the number of rise over run for these two lines?
You know, it's online. Jacob.
No, it's supposed to be what we're supposed to have first. And it's part of the answer. Okay, what'd you get, Jacob?
I haven't done the question.
I'm so confused.
Toby, did you count it?
Me, my lines aren't like the best on the paper.
Oh, okay. Maybe I need to zoom in a little bit here.
It's all
Anybody?
like-
Did anybody count?
Now what?
The slope.
No.
Okay,
I just
so-
told you
okay,
before I
yeah.
went out to talk to Evan.
There's
Four.
a point.
4.
Parallel.
Let's see. I'm going to start here. Okay.
There's also a negative.
Okay. I'm going to go up to the right one. So the blue line,
Why do you get 1, 2?
guys, pay attention. M equals 2 for the blue line. Let's check the red line. So again, we would just pick 2 points. Maybe I'll pick this one here. I will go up to Jacob. You need to stop or I'm going to ask you to leave. Okay. So this goes up to the right one.
We don't have it on our paper. Doesn't show.
No, you don't have points. I was just picking the points for you, and I think it's a little harder to see. Okay, so because these two have the same slope, we say that they are parallel to each other. Okay? They're the same. All right. So what we're going to do in this lesson, we're going to write equations of lines that are going to be parallel to the graph of the given equation. Okay, so we want slope-intercept form. Let's which form was that?
Y equals mx plus b.
Okay, that was y equals mx plus b.
Yo, I bet.
All right. For -1 is our x and our y. Okay, so that's our point. Now we want it to be parallel to this line, which is, what's the slope of this line?
7.
1. Remember, 7 is the b.
Wait, is it 6 or is it 7?
So it's going to be, we want an equation that's, what's the matter?
Is it 6 or is it 7?
Okay.
7 is B.
7 is
Well,
b.
it's 1, 4. It's the one next to that.
Okay. So we want to come up with another line. Y equals 1/4 x plus b. But our b is not going to be 7. It's going to be another number.
Do you plug
Okay.
in the
So, okay. So y equals 1/4 x plus 7. All we need to make sure is that the slope, m, is 1/4. So this should look very similar to what we did last week.
So do you do -1?
We're going to plug in -1 for y. 1 equals 1/4. We're going to plug in 4 for x. Because what do we need to isolate? We need to isolate b. Okay, next we're going to multiply 1/4 and 4 is 1. Remember, if you have a fraction here, like we could put this over 1, they would just cross cancel.
So B equals -2.
Okay, so now I need to isolate b. So I'm going to subtract 1 from both sides.
So B equals
So b equals
-2.
-2. Now I'm not quite done. I want to write my final answer. Y equals.
So Y
MX
equals
plus
Okay, but what's m? What's m?
7.
1/4.
1/4.
1/4
1/4
X
Plus -2.
minus
plus
2.
-2 or
Negative.
minus 2.
Really?
She cheated.
You finished.
What?
I don't know how, but
You just did.
Evan, you missed.
Like,
Oh,
I was-
one thing.
I just asked you to go back and you heard
Go quickly, go quickly.
Evan, you went last class.
Okay, Aaron.
You go every class.
Okay.
I'm more in trouble.
All right, let's take this equation. Let's first put this in y equals mx plus b. So I have to move the 3x over. So y equals 3x plus 4. So my new line, Jacob,
What am I doing?
I'm not blind. Okay. My new equation is also going to be y equals 3x plus b. But it's not going to be 4. It's going to be a new value of b. How am I going to... So do you understand what I'm doing? I'm
Yeah.
taking this equation. I want to put it in y equals mx plus b. And I'm going to keep the 3x. The 3, right? I need to keep the 3, but I have to figure out what b is. So I'm going to substitute in what numbers?
2 equals 3 times -2.
2 equals 3 times -2
Plus
plus b. Are you following?
No, it's
So-
-3. It's not 3. It's -3.
No, but remember when we put it in y
Oh.
equals mx plus b, we have to add the 3.
And then
Okay, so now it's going to be 2 equals
-6.
-6 plus b. So we're going to add 6.
Sigma head.
B equals
Okay.
8.
wow.
Okay,
So
Joan.
Y
Call back
equals
to it. I moved the water real quick.
plus 8.
Y equals
3x plus
3x plus 8. So again, we're going to take this equation, figure out what b is, and then just rewrite it with b in the answer.
It's actually easier than we
Yes, because this is like a lot of repeat of what we were
I have a
doing.
question.
It's easier than like what we just learned.
This
Oh, the
piece
point
of-
slope form.
This piece of, can
Yeah.
I do C?
Okay, so first thing, what would we want to do? We want to do y equals 2x
2x minus
plus
1.
b. No, okay, this is,
I'll think of.
okay, look
Let
at,
me do it.
okay, so Jacob, if all you need to do is look at what we just did in the previous examples. What did I do
Can I
first?
do C? Can I do C and you can do D? Jacob, you don't know how to do
First thing, is this in y equals mx plus b form?
it.
Yeah. So I'm going to ignore the -1, and I'm just going to rewrite y equals 2x plus b.
Alright, so
We're
wait,
good
can
with
I
that?
Can I rewrite that?
I got water now. Please. Like, because my throat hurts.
Go.
In this case, I can rewrite it.
Feel better.
Okay, well,
I
how about
already
just
got
tell
the
me for
answer.
now so we can walk through.
Alright,
So what are we going to put in
negative-
for?
-3
Good, -3 equals
2x
2
1
times 1
plus b.
plus b.
Can I do D?
Can I do D? I'll ask
Yeah.
first.
She
I
did.
No, you asked, but then you
Kobe
didn't.
said I can do D.
Can I do it? Can I try?
Rachel can go next. Okay, so but we got to finish this one. So what do we get? 2 times 2 plus b.
-2. So -5 equals b. So y equals 2x.
Okay, y, oh, hold on, Rachel. 2x minus 5. So again, we start with the same equation, but we're going to put plus b because we need to figure out what that is. Okay, Rachel, what's the problem with D though? Is this,
Oh, you have to like.
we got to solve for y
I
first.
have a question.
Yeah.
so you just.
Because I
Rachel,
didn't learn
let
this
him
yet.
do D.
Right, that's why I'm
Do you
teaching
just
it.
not do -1? You just don't put it.
No, we don't use the
Jacob,
-1 at
you
all.
can do D, okay?
Thank you, Rachel.
Okay, listen, the -1 is not used at all. Why?
Because we're trying to find the B value because
We
have
need
get
to find a
par-
new b
parallel-
value
It's a parallel line, right?
because they're parallel lines. Can they have the same y-intercept?
No.
No, they wouldn't be parallel then. These two are parallel, but you can't use the -1. The only part that we're using is the 2x.
Alright,
Okay.
Jacob said he'll do
Okay,
D.
so first thing we have to do is we have to isolate y. So we're gonna subtract
Jacob, what did we say?
x from both sides. Okay. Then what? Negative 2y equals,
Negative 2y equals,
well, I want to put the x first. Negative x
No, let Rachel. I
No,
don't
no,
know.
no, it's okay. You can do it. I'll be honest. You
Minus
want to do
8.
it so
Hey,
bad.
shh.
I'll be honest.
Oh my goodness, guys.
No, it's okay.
Well,
Well,
let's
we
let
can
Miss
How about let Miss Kasich
Really
just
good.
do it, because then,
Yeah.
okay. I'm going to divide everything by negative 2. Okay, so that means I get y equals, now,
Negative.
that's, I want to write
Oh wait, no, it's 2x, right?
So be careful. There's an invisible 1 in front here. So I have a negative over negative. So that's going to make it a positive 1/2
Wait,
x
what?
plus 4. So y equals 1/2 x plus b. That's going to be the format that I want my answer to be in.
Why 1/2?
So
Because
anytime there's nothing in
negative
front,
1x.
It's just a 1.
it's just a 1. Right? So I want to keep, because whenever I have whenever I have slope, I want to make sure I write it as a fraction. Okay?
Oh, does it 2 divided by 1? Wouldn't it just be
Yeah.
2?
If the 2 was on the top.
Oh.
Yes. Okay, Jonah, sit down.
When will you have my tests back?
You gotta be humble.
Okay, not now.
No.
All right.
Are you getting your test one, dude? Cause that'd be tough.
You should be writing down presentation points.
So we have x and we have y. Okay, so now I'm going to plug in negative 2 for y. 1/2 times negative 2 plus b. So do you understand? We're taking this equation and we're replacing everything, but we have to figure out what the new value of b is.
Well, you gotta do the, you gotta add it.
Well, hold on. What do we have here?
Isolate a variable. There's no variable to isolate.
Well, this is, what's 1/2 of 2? 1.
5.
I have a question.
1/2 of 2 is 5?
No, wait. Oh, damn it. 1/2 of 2 is 1.
Okay, now what do we need to do? We need to isolate b. So I'm going to add 1. Negative 2 plus 1 is,
That's 1.
Negative 1.
okay.
B equals
Now remember,
So smart, right?
it was, my format is going to be y equals 1/2 x plus b. But what did I get for
Wait, I
b?
can't see
So
that.
now you can just replace that b with the 1.
We're going to
negative
replace
1.
that. So it's going to be y equals 1/2 x minus 1.
I can't believe people do this. Sure. No, I'm kidding.
Okay. All right.
Hold on, hold on. I still
Good job,
write this down.
Jacob. Miss
I have
Keisha,
What did I do?
Rachel.
Wow, Rachel's being a bully. I don't appreciate it.
You wanted to do it so badly.
Miss Casey,
You're back down to
I have a question.
Okay.
If
If they're perpendicular, can they have the same slope?
No.
No.
Because they
Okay.
intersect at 90 degrees.
So now the goal is to have the same stuff.
Okay, what they're gonna, it's not gonna be the same this time. These are going to be opposite reciprocals. Okay, I'll explain what that means. Let's take a look at the slope of the blue line and the red line. Okay, let's start with the blue line. Okay, Evan, you don't need your computer.
I'm just looking at my job for a second.
Okay, I'm gonna go up 1, 2, 3, 4. And I'm gonna go to the right 2. So that makes my slope 4 over 2, which would just be the same as?
4, 2, 1, 2.
Yeah, 2 over 1 or just 2. Okay, let's check the other line. I'll start here.
I'm like half asleep.
Okay, if I go, this time I go down 2 to the right 4, my slope is negative 2 over 4 or negative 1/2. What do we notice about these two numbers?
They're flipped.
They're
They're
flipped.
reciprocal.
Okay.
Reciprocal.
We call those inverses or reciprocals. Also notice this one is a positive. This one
Is
is
this number A?
negative.
Is this number
Okay?
A?
We're just looking at the graph. So every time we have perpendicular lines, it's flipped. It's the reciprocal. One's positive, one's negative. Okay? All right, now we're going to do A.
So are we gonna get 2 answers?
No, we're still going to have just y equals mx plus b. Okay. All right. I'm going to take 2/3 and I want to take the opposite reciprocal. So my new m is going to be Well, this is positive 2/3, so it's going to be a negative 3 over 2. So I want my equation to be negative 3 over 2x plus b. Okay, let's think about that for a minute. So y equals mx plus b, but my m is not going to be the same this time. It's not parallel. Okay. But now the next part is going to look exactly the same that we did previously. Let me pause there. Does that make sense? Jonah, do you understand why
So
we
you do
wrote
seven.
negative 3 over 2?
Because it's
Yeah, you
the
have to put
opposite.
Okay.
Reciprocal.
And what do we need to solve for?
B.
You solve
Got to
for
figure
B.
out b. What is x and what is y? X is
Four.
4.
Letter.
And Y is 7.
So I have 7 equals negative 3 over 2
Now, Brian, like,
times 4. Okay. All right. When we have a fraction, if you have your calculators, great. But you can also multiply the top and multiply the bottom. So that'll be a negative 12. Negative 12 over 2. What's 12 divided by 2?
there's a spider on your hair.
No.
What?
John.
Jonah.
Oh,
Plus b.
That would be so funny though.
Plus 6 plus 6. What do we get for b? What do we get for b?
Oh, 13.
13.
If you go from just
Okay.
above the leaf.
Oh, I would actually.
Back then I'm bald.
Guys.
No, I'm like.
I would love.
And a bird like.
Okay. Now, we have to be careful when we write our answer. We're not using the 2/3. We're using the negative 3 over 2. Okay? So it's going to be y equals negative 3 over 2x plus, now we put in our new value of b, plus 13. Okay.
The B right is 6.
B
Can I try this one?
Okay.
Wait, so then it would be y equals.
Wait.
Try, I can't see. Please move.
Can I please try?
Other way.
Yeah, what would be, well, first of all, what would m have to be if it's
It's
perpendicular?
-3.
Negative 3. Jack,
Yeah.
can we pay attention?
I'm always just mentioning.
So first thing, this is positive, so it becomes negative. And if we flip 1 over 3, it becomes
3 over 1.
3 over 1.
Yeah.
So my equation is going to be y equals negative 3x plus b.
And then it's
Okay.
1
Following?
negative 3 times negative 3 plus 3.
Good.
And then 1.
Are we good with that? It's okay. Rachel goes a little fast.
1
So 1.
Bless
equals
you.
9 plus 3. 1 equals 9 plus 3.
Jonah, now you are losing a
1
point.
equals 9 plus b. Then you subtract 9 on both sides. And then it's b equals negative 8.
Yeah, negative 8 is
So
b.
y equals negative 3 x minus 8.
Good. Okay, so Rachel went through that pretty quickly, but that's okay. You understand we flip and we change the sign. So it's going to be y equals negative 3x plus b. Then we got to do all this work, but it's the same thing that we were doing last week, right? And it's the same thing we did on the quiz, and then we write our answer. Okay. What's the problem with C?
Wait, I didn't write it all down.
It's because it says 2x plus y equals.
Okay, so is this in the correct format?
No.
No. So I'm going to subtract 2x first.
both sides and then y equals
Oh.
negative 2x plus
Okay,
y.
guys, again, I am deducting every time you need to go during instruction. So,
I didn't go during instruction.
well, you kind of did, but
What?
that's-
So I took a test. You didn't go to
okay. Y equals negative 2x plus 5.
Plus 5.
Okay.
And
Now, it has to be perpendicular. So, what does M have to be?
2.
Okay, wait a minute.
1/2.
We have to flip it. So it's going to be a positive 1/2. Okay, that's where it gets a little tricky. So, right, if we have a whole number, we have to put it over 1 and then flip it. It's negative here, so we need to make it positive. So my equation
Y
is going to be y equals 1/2 x plus b.
Y equals 1/2 x plus b.
and then
That's the
it's-
answer?
No. And then
Well, no,
it's
what's the problem?
negative 2.
I can't have a b in my answer. I need to figure out what that is
Okay, so
equal
then-
to.
Oh, then isolate B.
Your Y will be negative 2
Y is negative 2 equals
And your
1/2 times 2.
times 2.
Previous cases, not to
And then-
still doing instructions.
We're still doing instruction. We're almost
Wait,
done.
I have a question.
B equals
If it went to
Negative
the bathroom
2
during instruction, does that mean I lost 2 points?
Whoops, that's a positive one.
minus 3.
-2 equals. Okay, it's gonna be -3.
How? Wait, how's it negative 3? Because
Well, if I
It's
have
-3.
How do I isolate B? What do I
what's
need
half
to
of
do?
2?
you have to, you have to take one away from 1. Oh,
Minus
yeah.
1.
Negative 3 equals B.
Okay, now that's not my final answer. My final answer has to be
Y equals
1/2 x
minus 3.
minus 3.
What? I'm sorry.
Yes, sir.
I'm ready for 10th grade president.
All right, Eli has nothing to do with what we're doing right now, but you can help me out with the next one, Eli. So tell me,
Help her out, Eli.
this is already in y equals mx plus b. So Eli, tell me what the slope has to be.
I equals negative 2/3.
Well, no, m is negative 2/3. So if it's perpendicular, what do we have to do with it?
3 over 2.
We have to flip it.
Negative. No, it's just
Positive,
Got it.
positive. Remember, one has to, if this is negative, we want the new one to be positive. If this was positive, we would make the new one negative. Okay, so the format for our equation is going to be y equals 3 over 2x
plus B.
plus b.
And then
Okay,
now,
now what? Eli.
y equals negative 2/3.
Okay, but what is y?
Y is 0.
So 0 equals 3 over 2 times x. What's x?
X is 6.
6 plus b. Okay, now I need to do
Now we got 3. Yeah, wait. So 0 equals 6 to 18 over 2, which is 9
9.
plus B.
Now what do we do?
Minus 9 on each side, you get negative 9.
Okay, so now my final answer is
Negative.
3 over 2.
not negative.
What? Y? What do you mean on negative?
Okay, guys,
Over 2.
remember we go back to
Y
this one.
equals-
Y equals 3 over 2x plus negative.
Oh,
They
you
go-
are.
minus 5.
Wow.
Nice, Charlie.
Good job, Charlie.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Good job, Charlie.
He gets it. Ow. This hurts.
I understand it now.
Good?
Yeah.
I understand that a little bit better. I don't really.
All right, you know what? I think I'm gonna have you guys skip these
Yeah, I don't
two.
know how to do those.
We have homework.
And let's just look at these here.
On the back?
Yeah, let's just look at example 5. We'll skip the other two. I don't have any examples like
Is
this.
this the last thing
It's
for
not
the
as tough.
note packet? This is the last page.
Okay, we want to determine if the lines are parallel, perpendicular, or neither. Okay.
I'm a
So,
25%.
So here's what I need you to do. I need you to first make them in y equals mx plus b form.
So the first
Okay,
one-
so the first one, what is the m? What is in front of the x? There's nothing there, which means it's
The one.
1. So here,
y equals 1x plus 5.
okay, now what's the problem here? Is this in y equals mx plus b?
minus x on both
So minus
sides.
x,
And then it's
Wait,
y equals
negative x.
negative x plus 6.
Okay,
So
so
it's y equals negative 1x plus 6, basically.
so here m is equal to
They-
1.
they're
And what's m equal to here?
negative 1.
Okay, what
So they're not
happens?
perpendicular.
Hold on. What
Okay.
happens if we
Yeah.
flip 1?
You get 0.
Negative 1.
Nothing.
Well, wait. If I take 1,
Are you kind of
Parallel.
positive?
well, if I just take 1,
And negative 1.
if I take 1
Negative.
over 1
It's
and
just
I
one.
flip it,
It's just
doesn't
one.
it stay 1
Yeah.
over 1?
Negative 1 though.
But it's negative
Yeah,
1. So
but-
are these
parallel.
opposite reciprocals?
Opposite reciprocals.
Okay, are they the same?
No.
Yes.
No.
Oh, so perpendicular.
Perpendicular.
Are we skipping these?
Yeah. So these are perpendicular.
Can I use the button now? Instructions.
Still doing instruction.
Can you stop singing, please?
Okay. Okay, this one is actually in point slope form. Do you see what's in front of the x? What is the m?
2/5.
2/5. Here, m is 2/5.
Oh, can I say that?
What's the slope for this one?
Wait, can I say it?
So what do they have to be?
Is it raining?
That one is y equals 2 fifths x
Okay.
plus 7. So
Yeah, but we don't even have,
it
we
is-
don't have to
it is
multiply it out. So they're parallel, they're the same.
Yeah. Is it raining?
Now it's just the air. Okay. This next one. Again, this one's already in the nice format, so we're good. What is the slope of this line? What's m equal to?
It's
Negative, 2.
No, just 2.
oh,
Two?
it's
Jacob?
perpendicular.
2 over 2.
Okay, what do I have to do to solve for
It's perpendicular.
this one?
You do plus 4x.
Okay,
Miss
so-
Peace, if I have a question, if it
But-
just goes from like a whole
You can
number to
already
still a
tell.
whole number,
Yeah.
it's just always perpendicular, right?
It's perpendicular.
Not
because
always. We got to be
So the
careful.
next
Wait.
one's parallel. I can already tell it's already
Divide
parallel.
by 2. Oh wait,
Okay, divide everything by 2. What do we get?
parallel. Because y equals 2x plus
Yeah, if I divide everything by 2,
yeah.